You already know. You have known for a while now. You know the way they look at you is not the way they look at anyone else. You know the way the air changes when they walk into a room. You are already standing in. You know the way a simple message from them can undo an entire bad day in seconds, And somewhere deep down, they know too. But neither of you has moved. Neither of you has spoken. Neither of you has reached across the silence that lives between you like something breathing. And every single day that passes in that silence is not neutral, it is not safe, it is not buying you time, it is costing you something. Because when two people feel everything and say nothing, there are 4 things that begin to happen quietly beneath the surface. 4 consequences most people never see coming until the moment they are standing in the wreckage of something that could have been everything. And the first one, it has already started. Here is what nobody tells you about holding feelings that were never meant to be held. They do not stay the same. You imagine them waiting for you, patient and unchanged, like something preserved under glass, like a feeling that will be exactly this alive and this bright when you are finally ready to reach for it. But that is not what feelings do. Feelings are living things, and living things change when they are kept in the dark. What starts as warmth becomes weight. What once felt like excitement slowly starts to feel like aching. The butterflies become something closer to dread. Not because what you feel is fading, but because carrying it alone for too long turns even the most beautiful feeling into something exhausting. You stop looking forward to seeing them and start bracing for it. You stop dreaming about the possibility and start mourning it before it is even gone. And the cruelest part is you do not even notice it happening. Not until the feeling that once made you feel most alive begins to feel like the thing that is quietly breaking you. And that is only where it begins, because the second consequence cuts even deeper than the first. When the heart is full and the mouth stays closed, the mind fills the silence with its own voice, and that voice is never kind. It does not say, maybe they are just afraid like you are. It does not say, maybe they are lying awake thinking about you too. It says they have moved on. It says you imagined it. It says you are too much and somehow also not enough. It says that moment you both shared that felt like everything probably meant nothing to them at all. And you begin to believe it, not because it is true, but because silence has a way of making the darkest thought feel like the most honest one. And here is where it becomes something truly painful. They are doing the exact same thing on the other side of this silence. Two people who feel something real for each other begin to slowly convince themselves that what they feel is one-sided. Two people who want the same thing begin to move in opposite directions, not because the feeling died, but because the silence became louder than the truth. And if you think that is the most painful part of this story, you have not heard the third consequence yet. Nobody holds their breath forever. That is not weakness. That is simply being human. And while you are both standing still, waiting for the right moment, waiting for certainty, waiting for something to make it feel safe enough to finally speak, the world keeps moving around you. Someone else notices the warmth in their eyes. Someone else sits beside them without overthinking it. Someone else reaches first, not because they feel more than you do, not because they are braver or better, simply because they did not wait. And you will feel it the moment it happens, not as a dramatic ending, as something quieter and far more devastating, as the slow understanding that the window did not slam shut, it just drifted, closed while you were standing right there, close enough to have stopped it. If what you are hearing right now is landing somewhere real inside of you, if you are recognizing yourself in any of this, take 1 second and hit the like button right now. It tells us this kind of truth matters, and subscribe to Psychology Routine, because the next thing we share might be exactly what you needed to hear before it is too late. But we are not finished yet, because the fourth consequence is the one that stays with you the longest, not in the story of them, in the story of you. This is the consequence nobody talks about, not the losing of them, the losing of yourself, because when you spend too long swallowing what you feel when you spend too long making yourself smaller so that wanting does not show on your face. Something begins to shift inside you. You start to believe that your feelings are a problem to be managed rather than a truth to be spoken. You start to move through every connection that comes after this one from a place of hiding. You stop trusting the depth of what you feel. You start apologizing for it before anyone even asks you to. And the most heartbreaking part is that none of this happens loudly. It happens in the quiet, in the small daily choices to say nothing, to feel everything, and show nothing, to love deeply and stand perfectly still. And one day you look up and realize you have spent so long protecting yourself from the risk of being known that you have forgotten what it felt like to let someone truly see you. That is what unspoken love does when it is left too long in the silence. It does not just stay between you and them, it follows you. There is a reason this is so hard. This is not a flaw in you. This is not evidence that you are broken or cowardly or incapable of love. What is happening inside you right now is the oldest and most human collision there is. The collision between how deeply you feel and how terrified you are of losing even the possibility of what this could become. When something matters this much, the fear of reaching and losing grows just as large as the love itself, sometimes larger. And so you stand at the edge of something. That could be everything, and you do not move. Not because you do not want to, but because you want it so much that the thought of it not being returned feels like something your heart might not survive. But here is what that fear will never tell you. The people who love the deepest are not the people who protect themselves the most carefully. They are the people who eventually become brave enough to let the depth of what they carry be seen. Not perfectly, not without trembling, but honestly. And now, after everything, here is what you need to hold on to. You are not too much. The way you feel things is not a problem. The depth you carry is not a burden, is the most alive and most honest thing about you. Your silence until now was not weakness. It was the instinct of someone who understands that what is real deserves to be protected. But there is a difference between protecting something precious and keeping it locked so tightly that even you cannot reach it anymore. You deserve to be chosen. Not someday, not in theory, not as someone's quiet last resort when everything else has already passed them by. You deserve to be someone's deliberate, trembling, wide-open first choice. And anyone who cannot cross the silence to meet you there. Anyone who lets you stand at the edge of something real without ever taking a single step forward was never holding what they had with the care it deserved. Your feelings were never the problem. Loving this deeply was never your mistake. The people who will one day receive the full weight of your love when you finally give it without apology are the only ones who ever truly deserve to. And you are so much closer to that than this silence is allowing you to feel. So here is where you are now. You know what staying still costs. You have felt it. You are feeling it right now, and you do not have to do everything at once. You do not need the perfect words or the perfect moment or the absolute certainty that it will all go the way you hope. You only need one honest step, one moment where you stop managing what you feel and simply let it be seen. One reach across the silence. Because the connection you are terrified of losing is already real. It already exists. It is already living in the space between every unsent message and every held back word. The only question is whether you will let it breathe, or whether you will love something beautiful entirely in silence until one day the silence is all that remains. Share this with someone who needs to hear it today, because sometimes the most powerful gift you can give another person is the simple reminder that what they feel is real. What they feel is not too much, and what they feel is absolutely worth saying out loud.